Hello, my sunshines. Welcome back and thanks for popping in. I am so glad you're here. So for today's video, I have my Authentic Books box to share with you. Authentic Books is a monthly book/lifestyle subscription box, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this box in just a minute. However, I don't usually do this, but I have a little bit of admin that I wanted to go over with you really quickly, and this video felt like it was the perfect time to address it. So I have a lot of requests asking me to do book reviews, and unfortunately I've done a couple of those videos and they just tanked. Now, it could be for one of two reasons. I'm largely an unboxing channel, and if I do a video that's not an unboxing, sometimes YouTube doesn't know what to do with it and they will not push the video out to you guys. So it could be that I did the video and you didn't even know it existed. Or it could be that the niche of you guys or the amount of you guys that want book reviews is just smaller than the number of views I need to make a video worthwhile, if that makes sense. I'm just being really honest. So I thought maybe I would do some book reviews at the end of my Authentic Book Box opening every month. I feel like if you're here to see a book unboxing, then maybe you would be the same people who would like to see book reviews. So if you're just here to see the unboxing, I'm going to do that first, and then I'll put a timestamp. And if you want to click out after the unboxing, you're able to do that. And if you want to stay for the book reviews, then you will too. And hopefully those of you who are looking for reviews will be satisfied and I can give you what you want, because that's what I want to do. Also, I did want to let you know that I do a lot of book content over on my Instagram. I've been doing book reels. I did a book review a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. So if you're not following me over there, go ahead and do that. Also, while you're watching this video, well, if you're watching it on Thursday when it uploads, I am actually on a trip with a brand, and I'm going to be doing some Instagram stories with behind the scenes of what goes on. I'm really excited. So go ahead and give me a follow over there. And if you don't know how to get to Instagram stories, you follow me over on Instagram. I'll put my link down below. And then at the very top of Instagram, you'll see little circles. You just find the circle with my head and click on it, and then you'll see where I am and what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of the box. So between the 1st and the 5th of the month, you get to go in and customize between 3 different newly released titles. And she tries to have a variety. So there could be a mystery/thriller book, there could be a contemporary fiction book, and then maybe a chick lit. They vary a little bit each month. I always have trouble picking between 2 books. And if you have that trouble too, you can have one of the books put in as your customization, and you can pay for a second book at a discounted rate and have that put in here too, which I do really appreciate. Another thing I love about this box is if you pick like the thriller mystery box, the items in your box are going to be totally different than the person who got the chick lit box. Each of the boxes is tailored around the book that you get, and there's 3 ways you can subscribe. There's a $39 box, a $49 box, and a $59 box. Now all the boxes are customized based around your senses. So obviously your sight item would be one of those 3 books you pick, and then you get a scent item in every box. Her candles, this is a candle, are incredible. They're not huge, they're a nice size, but they're not like, you know, like a 3-wick, but they really infuse the room, and they're all hand poured in the Authentic Books box warehouse, I guess. You get a touch item, which means you're going to get a self-care item from a small business or local artist. You're going to get a sound item, which is a Spotify playlist, again, based on your particular book. You get a heart item. It's not really an item in the box, but she does give 5% back of the proceeds to go to children's literacy charities. You get a bookmark customized to your box. You also get a recipe card for a food item and a drink item based on your book. So that's everything in the $39 box. Now the $49 box, you're going to get everything in there, plus you're going to get either a coffee, a tea, or a cocktail mixer. She just added coffee recently, so I can't speak to that. I'm not a coffee drinker anyway, but her tea is incredible, and her cocktail mixers, even if you're not a drinker, you can put them, like I use them a lot of times in lemonade or some kind of fun craft drink. Really good. And then you're going to get a second touch item, which is that self-care item from a small business. Now, if you want the full deal, the big box, that's $59, you're going to get everything that is in both of the other boxes, but you're going to get a craft gourmet chocolate bar. Let me talk about last month's chocolate bar. It was a milk chocolate bar with crystallized key lime. Holy cow, was that good. That crystallized key lime was tart, like in the best way possible. And what I loved about it is it was kind of broken into, like you could break it into squares, and it was so like tart in the best way possible that I could only eat one square at a time. So if you have trouble with like self-control and you eat a whole chocolate bar, I wasn't able to do that with this one, which I really liked. So really interesting chocolate. And then you get a third touch item, which is another self-care item. So that's all that I have to say about the box, except I have a 10% discount. So if you want to try it, you can use my link down below to do that and my code. All right, so when you get your box, it looks like this. And then when you open it, looks like this. Ooh, I love the inside. I don't remember the inside being so floral and pretty. And then you've got our little brochure on the top. This tells you what's in the box. And then it's got like recipes and all kinds of interesting things throughout it. So really good brochure here. And then we have our custom bookmark. For my book, it says, maybe love isn't a judgment you render, but a chance you take. I have to say, I really like that she gives us a bookmark. I'm going to tell on myself. This is the book I'm currently reading. And my bookmark is an empty gas station gift card holder. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out that bookmark and use it. Okay, so the first thing that I see in the box right on top is this guy. Looks like it's a little tote. Ooh, it's a good size. I like the nice long straps, and it says, love is something you do. The Bodyguard. Oh, it's a quote from the book. And then it says authentic book box here, love. That's cute. I feel like you can't have enough reusable bags because I will bring my groceries in and forget to take them back to the car. So I try and have like 10 to 15 always going at one time. It says, we bring you a cotton tote designed by our talented small team. Our new totes include quotes from your current read. Okay, then the next thing we got is our candle. These are handmade, hand-poured soy wax candles. And they always say, let's get literary on them. It says this one is called Threat Level Persimmon. So you have to read the book, I guess, to know the reference. It has notes of juicy persimmon, citrus, and smooth clove. Our candles are always hand stirred and poured in the authentic Bookbox studio using non-toxic ingredients. Their candles are so good. It's nice and fruity and juicy, but I think with that clove, it adds a little bit of warmth. Yeah, just the way you want it to smell. It's pretty on the top. Just the way you want your house to smell as you're cozying up to read a book. Pretty. Okay. The next thing down in the box is this guy. And you can choose whether you want to get a craft cocktail mixer, a tea, or a coffee. Because she sent this box to me for a review, she just sends me whatever her hand hits first. Ooh, oh, this is Walker's Southern Peach Margarita Mix. Yum. But I feel like you could probably make like a peach lemonade or a peach tea. Oh, that would be really good too. Her cocktail mixers, her tea too, I can't speak to her coffee because it's new, always look like you pick them up in like a gourmet food shop, don't they? Really, really nice quality. It says the Southern Peach Margarita Mixer. Okay, happy for that, guys. Okay, so the next thing in here also comes in a little black bubble mailer. And this is protection spray. It says that it is lemongrass and currant. Protection spray's got to be something out of the book, don't you think? It says this is a lemon and currant linen spray. Protection spray, in quotes, has notes of soothing lemongrass and black currant. Our new linen sprays are great to spray on your favorite reading chair. Every bottle is hand poured and packaged with care. Now I do a lavender linen spray on my sheets like before we get in bed at night, but I've never thought about creating the mood and spraying this like on your pillow or on your couch or your favorite reading chair to kind of create that moment. I love that. I've never seen her do that before. Very, very cool. Okay, the next thing in here is from Friendly Soaps. This is a cinnamon and cedarwood natural soap. It's cruelty-free and it's free of sulfates, preservatives, palm oil, and plastic. Cinnamon and cedarwood. I'm intrigued. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. I think I saw cinnamon and was thinking more like pumpkin spice fall, but you smell a lot of the cedar wood and you just get that undercurrent of warmth. This would be a great night scent. You know how there's some scents that are good for the morning because they wake you up, like lemon scents or bright scents, and then some scents just put you in the mood to put your pajamas on and binge watch something in front of the TV or to read. This is that soothing, warm, cozy scent. Really, really cool. It says, if this doesn't leave you longing for a cuppa and a bun, our new soap's delicately comforting scent of cinnamon will help you relax in the shower or bath. Cinnamon has great antibacterial powers, which all pair perfectly with our anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties of the cedarwood we've paired it with. Very cool. Okay, lastly, well, before the book, we have the chocolate bar, and this is by Theo, which is a fair trade company, and it is a hazelnut crisp chocolate bar. I love that they did milk chocolate. I know that dark chocolate is a little bit better for you, and I do like it, but I really like milk chocolate best. So we got that. And then last but not least, we have the book. This is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. And then inside the book, there's usually, there's a little sticker that you can put like a book plate inside your book that's signed by the author. And then you get a little author's note that tells you a little bit of behind the scenes of her writing the book. Let's see what this is about. It says, Hannah Brooks looks more like a kindergarten teacher than someone you would kill with a corkscrew or a ballpoint pen or a dinner napkin. But the truth is she's an executive protection agent, AKA a bodyguard, and she just got hired to protect superstar Jack Stapleton from his middle-aged corgi breeding stalker. Jack Stapleton's a household name. He's captured by paparazzi on beaches the world over and famous for, among other things, rising out of the waves in all manner of clingy board shorts and glistening like a Roman deity. But a few years back, in the wake of a family tragedy, he dropped from the public eye and went off the grid. When Jack's mom gets sick, he goes home to the family's Texas ranch to help out. Only one catch: he doesn't want his family to know about his stalker or the bodyguard thing. And so Hannah, against her will and her better judgment, finds herself pretending to be Jack's girlfriend as a cover, even though her ex says no one will believe it. Hannah hardly believes it herself, but the more time she spends with Jack, the more real it starts to seem. And therein lies the heartbreak, because it's easy for Hannah to protect Jack, but protecting her own long neglected heart, that's the hardest thing she's ever done. This sounds so up my alley, and I'm so excited. So that was that book. Now let's hop into my book reviews. So the first book that I read was Counterfeit by Jackie Chen. I was streaming through Instagram, as one does, and I saw Reese Witherspoon do a little review on this. It was, I think, the June book club for Reese Witherspoon's book club, and I was intrigued by it. My son had to pick up a book for summer homework, and so when we were in there, I was like, let me just treat myself too. So this is a story about two women. They were college roommates for just a blip of time, not even a whole semester. There is one of the characters that came over from China, and then one of the characters is Chinese American. She has a Chinese mom and an American dad. And there was a big scandal. Think Hollywood college scandal that just happened a few years ago, but apparently a while back there was one with international students, and the one girl from China actually got caught up in it and left the school. Nobody could prove that that's what happened, but there was speculation that that's why she left so quickly. So years later, the American girl is living her life. She became a lawyer. She married a surgeon, and he was a resident, so he's never home. They had a baby, and this poor baby cries non-stop. I think he's 2 at the point of the video, or the book. He's right in the middle of like the terrible 2s. He has tantrums all the time. She is exhausted. And in walks her friend, Winnie, from college. Now, Winnie is an opportunist. She is a crook. And little does she know, her friend, that Winnie is going to get her into her shenanigans. And they start a business where they import fake purses and then sell them here in America as real ones. Now, the first part of the book is very intriguing because it talks about the American Chinese girl, and she's talking to a detective, and she's like spilling her guts. Okay, so you hear the story from her perspective. But then when you get to part 2, you're not ready for the reality, and that's where it comes in. This book is only 270 pages. I read it in one sitting on Sunday. I was out by the pool. I told my husband I'm not coming in until this book is done. I really liked it. It was a little bit different from books that I have read in the past, and I highly recommend it. Really good. Reese never lets us go wrong with a book club choice, right? So I read that one. The next book I read is probably my favorite book of the summer, and this one was in my last Authentic Books Box book opening. It's called The Beach Trap, although in the video I think I called it The Beach Trip. I didn't realize. It's a little bit of a take on The Parent Trap, only based on the very first chapter. So two girls, they're like 12, maybe a little bit younger, go off to summer camp. One girl is rich. One girl doesn't have a clue what's going on. She just is trying to survive. They get put in the same cabin and they have to pick bunkmates. The rich girl says to the poor girl, I don't know that she's poor, but we'll call her poor. Do you want to be my bunkmate? And for the rest of the summer, they were inseparable. Before camp ends, the rich girl got a call from her family that her grandfather died and her family was coming to pick her up. The poor girl's mother had died, so she had been through death and she stuck with her. She helped her pack her bags, and she took all her stuff up to meet the parents. Well, when the dad got out of the car, she was dumbfounded because it was also her dad. She was a love child, and the dad did not give her the time of day. He ignored her and acted like he did not know who she was. The first chapter is very short and it's heavy, just so you know that when you see that happen, it's really hard. But then it kind of gets up from there. 17 years later, the dad passes away. He leaves this old dilapidated beach house that was his parents to the two sisters. They hadn't talked since that day at camp. The one sister is an influencer. She wants to keep the beach house. The other sister was raised by her grandparents. Her grandfather is now in a memory care center, and she doesn't have the money to pay for it. So she needs to fix up the beach house and sell it so that she has money to pay for her grandfather. So therein lies the rub. They try to fix up the beach house, and the story is really, really lovely. They agree to take, one sister takes the beach house the first week, the next sister takes it the next week as they're fixing it up. And it's a really lovely story. In between, you have a little love story between each of the two girls. There is a little tiny bit of sexy time in here. If that's not your thing, you can go through it really quickly. It's not super graphic. And if you like flip maybe a page, it's done. But really, really cute. I read it at the beach and I loved every single minute of it. So The Beach Trap by Allie Brady. And then the last book I don't have to show you because I read it on my Kindle. And as you know, if you've been around my channel for a while, I love Mary Kay Andrews. She's my favorite author. She just tells a story that I like. If you follow her on Instagram, which I do, she loves antiquing. She loves old Southern historical buildings. And so that's what she writes. She writes about old Florida hotels or old Florida historic homes. And this particular story, it's called Home Wreckers, took place in Savannah. There was a girl who flipped houses with her father-in-law and she got in over her head. They ended up having to sell the house that she got over her head in, and they were in debt, or so she thought. So she's trying to figure out a way to get her family out of debt. She had mortgaged her house, and in walks this guy from, they call it HPTV, it's like HGTV, and likes her look, likes the concept, and says, I want to do a show called Saving Savannah. Well, she wants nothing to do with it. She doesn't want anything to do with the TV. She doesn't want anything to do with anything. But her best friend talks her into doing the show so that they can get themselves out of debt. They get a house on Tybee Island. That whole story is really cool. And they start to renovate it. Well, as they renovate it, they find a wallet in the wall from a teacher that has been missing for like 15 or so years, maybe a little bit longer. And so there's a little bit of the antiquing and the historic homes that Mary Kay Andrews always writes about, but she always throws a little bit of a mystery and a little bit of romance in there. It had everything that I wanted, and it was wonderful. I really liked it. And actually, I feel like she set it up to have a second book. She very rarely does second books. I know she's done like Savannah Breeze and Savannah Blues. And those are really, really good too. There's older books that she's done, but fabulous. Those are the books I found her with. But it felt like she could do a sequel with this book. I don't know if she will, but it was really, really good. And I highly recommend that one too. And then, like I said, I am now reading Four Aunties and a Wedding. This is a sequel I also got in Authentic Books Box. The first book is about an Indo-Chinese family. All the sisters have boys, and they have one daughter / niece, and they rule her life. So by a series of events in the first book, she ends up going on a blind date and killing the guy, and the aunts, it's really funny. It sounds heavy, but it's hysterical. I found myself laughing out loud on the first book. The aunts hide the body, and it through a series of events during a wedding, she actually gets caught up with her college ex-boyfriend, and they get back together. Really, really cute. But this is their wedding book, and incidentally, the family has a wedding business, so you can see them taking over her life and her wedding yet again. So I'm not very far. You can see I've just read a couple chapters. I started reading this yesterday, but so far, so good. I will link all of those books down below, as well as my discount code for Authentic Book Box. I hope you like this style of video, and I will see you soon for another video. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye, guys.